Jersey City Medical Center is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with the county's only cardiac surgery program, performing the most orthopedic procedures, all private rooms in our Lord Abbott Maternity Wing, and the only NCI-designated comprehensive cancer center in the state in partnership with Rutgers Cancer Institute of New Jersey. Visit rwjbh.org/Hudson County. Jersey City Medical Center and RWJ Barnabas Health Facility. Jersey City Medical Center is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with the county's only cardiac surgery program, performing the most orthopedic procedures, all private rooms in our Lord Abbott Maternity Wing, and the only NCI-designated comprehensive cancer center in the state in partnership with Rutgers Cancer Institute of New Jersey. Visit rwjbh.org/Hudson County. Jersey City Medical Center and RWJ Barnabas Health Facility.
What's going on? What's going on? You are tuned into the Cigars with Mac podcast. Well, folks, let me say this correctly because our actual projected I'm sorry, let me say this right. Hold on. Our projected presidential winner is Kamala Harris and Vice President Joe Biden. But today, the title of the podcast is Same Old BS. I labeled it that because I thought after Barack Hussein Obama, black folks would have learned by now to just stop picking people because of the skin, because of the color of their skin. You know, it seemed like this was all strategic on the Democratic side. Because during the Democratic nominees, Joe Biden kicked Kamala Harris's ass. She dropped out because she knew she didn't even have a chance. You know, and I'm not going to even get into the conspiratorial BS I've been hearing on both sides. All I know is by December 8th, we'll find out who our leader of the free world is. But my whole thing is this, man. 1 minute, Kamala Harris is saying that she's black. Next minute, she's saying she's East Indian. And it's really a bunch of BS, man. But she knew that black women especially were going to be moved by that. She went to a HBCU, and she's also a part of a black sorority. Today I'm smoking a Brick House Maduro. One of my favorite go-to smokes. Anyway, I know I said I was going to podcast on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but man, it is what it is. Anyway, I'm just tired of the same BS from the Democrats, man. I was really into politics heavy 6-7 years ago, man. But now, you know, and I really wasn't in it heavy. I was just more involved on educating people. You know, I used to go on a lot of blog talk radios, and people would like to talk to me about politics from a black man's perspective. You know, at that time, I considered myself a quote unquote conservative. But now, pretty much, all these parties are the same. They all the same, man. I mean, we as a people should get tired of that shit, man. You just voting for somebody because they black, man. I mean, you got people literally saying, they're literally posting pictures of their children watching, especially little black girls watching Kamala Harris when Kamala claims black when it's convenient. Black folks have got to get tired of being everybody's stepchild, everybody's side piece. And I did a podcast on that. Don't allow people to treat you like a side piece. Number two, I'm hearing people talking about what are they going to do for black folks. That should have been established pre-election. Now it's too late, especially if they get in office. It's too late. It's too late now. That should have already been established. We should have already padded the Biden campaign financially, because I'm gonna tell you right now, no politician's gonna hear you unless you have money. And if you don't have money, you better be providing them a tax base. So all this shit, asking for shit after the fact, is stupid. I mean, you really got our people tripping right about now, dancing, shaking their ass, twerking in Washington, D.C. because a fucking president is in office. I'm going to tell you, man, I voted for Donald Trump. To me, he was the best decision. He was the best candidate, in my humble opinion. And when I ask black people, what has he done to you? What policy has he implemented that has made your life miserable? Nobody can tell me. And I'm talking about black America. I'm not talking about Africans in America. I'm talking about 100% descendants of slave, ADOS, black folks in America. Nobody can give me an answer. Nobody can give me an answer. Don't get me wrong. I'm not walking around with no Make America Great Again hat. But I'm the kind of person, I deal with truth and logic. I have to deal with truth and logic, because at one time, I didn't care for Donald Trump. And then I just sat back one day and thought about it. This was about 2 years ago. And I said, man, it was about 3 years ago. I said, this guy really has done nothing to me. No policy has he implemented that has affected me. I'm a veteran, combat veteran. You know, he's done a lot for veterans, even though there were rumors that said that he insulted veterans. I haven't heard it yet, heard or seen it. I haven't. But as we can see now, man, this presidential election, man, is so important right now. And Mr. Trump has not conceded yet. So he's not going down without a fight. You know, like I said, I'm hearing different things that Nancy Pelosi owns the company that does ballots, that does walk-in ballots. I don't know how true it is, but, you know, I believe there's truth behind it. I'm hearing now that since it's projected for Trump to be out of office, that Bill Gates is now, you know, buddy with Joe Biden, and he wants to give people these vaccines so bad. Whoa, you know, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to get too conspiratorial. But what I do want to say is that I want to speak on Kamala Harris, and I want to speak on the okie doke that these quote unquote mixed people and mixed black Americans and mixed black/African are playing on black folks. I remember with Barack Obama, his father was from Kenya, his mother is Jewish. From America. The only American blood he has is on his mother's side, not his father. And a lot of black people voted for him simply because he was black, as they say. Now, at least he didn't disown black people, but he didn't do shit for black people. A lot of black folks that say Obamacare. Obamacare wasn't for black people in specific. And like Ice Cube was saying, we need specific laws and specific things in place for us as a people, because we keep getting lumped in with everybody else, and that's the problem. People of color, I hate that word. Black and brown, I hate that word. Yes, we're not literally black, but that's what we're identified as. I'm sorry, it's the way the world is. It is what it is. Deal with it. But my whole thing is this, man. I see on social media so many black women are just in awe. Our first black female vice president. Our first female vice president. You know, historically, most females are Secretary of States, not vice presidents. But my whole thing is this, is that, like I said earlier, she only claims black people when it's convenient. You know, during the slavery days, the children of slave owners were called mulattoes. And post-slavery, well, during slavery, a lot of mulattoes, their slave masters, which were their fathers, actually freed them, gave them freedom papers. And they actually created their own societies. The Blue Vein Society is one that comes to mind. I used to know all that information, but I've since, I don't study like I used to on stuff like that. But they were just pretty much segments within Black America who had their own thing. If you wasn't light skinned, you couldn't be a part of this clique. And the thing about it is, for instance, let's talk about her being an AKA. There was a time during the early years of being AKAs, you couldn't even be dark skinned. You had to pass a brown paper bag test. That's sick. And so usually, you know, you didn't see dark skinned women being AKAs, but now it's a little different. But what I find problematic is when I see dark skinned women now, they're praising Kamala Harris, my soror, this, that, and the third, or I see a lot of sisters who are part of the, as they say, Divine Nine. They're so proud. And I'm gonna do a podcast on my take on fraternities and sororities, in particular, black fraternities and sororities, because it feels like within Black America, the black fraternities and sororities just can't let it go. Even after graduation, it's near and dear to them. But if you all don't know, there was a time when in media, the black fraternities and sororities had it sold up. They had it sold up, man. The Tom Joyners, the Steve Harveys, the Ricky Smileys. The list goes on. List goes on. You couldn't get in unless you was a frat. You couldn't get in. If you got in, somebody had to basically vouch for you. I understand the exclusivity aspect of it, but within Black America, we have our own sex. We have our own little good old boy systems. But Kamala Harris knew strategically that even years ago, she's 56, years ago when she was in college, that she had to do that because I imagine she knew she wanted to go because she's an attorney, she wanted to go that route, and she knew that being in a sorority will open those doors for her. Let's just be honest. She isn't even married to a black man. And that's no big deal. Okay, the cigar not staying lit. Anyway, Kamala knew that. If people like that, like her, they understand that positions in this world don't just happen to anybody. It takes a lot of strategy. And what hurts me is the fact that if after December 8th, if she and Mr. Biden are declared the official president and vice president, in a year from now, when she makes her particular comments about Black America, because she is going to make them, how are black people going to feel about that? How are you going to feel about that, man? Because I'm just telling you, man, I'm so tired of my people just voting for Democrats just because it's Democrat. And I'm not telling you to be a Republican, because I'm no longer a registered card-carrying Republican anymore. Now I vote for who has my best interest at heart. Right now it's Donald Trump. He's tight on those borders now. Before it wasn't like that. Many people are saying that when and if Biden becomes the official president, that he's going to open the floodgates for a lot of immigrants to come over here. And they think the borders won't get tight like they used to be. Because for the most part, Donald Trump was for American people. I feel he was for black people, to be honest with you. I really do. I feel he was for Black America. Because as a president, yeah, you are the president of the people. But black people, we are a specific kind of people. There are two popular terms right now. One coined by, not necessarily coined, but they really campaign this term is by Yvette Carnell and Antonio Morris, called ADOS, American Descendants of Slavery. That's just like it sounds. You're a descendant of a slave. And the next term is coined by Tariq Nasheed, FBA, Foundational Black Americans. I like both terms, so I use them interchangeably. And that's what Ice Cube was trying to say. We need specific things for us. We don't need to be lumped in with everybody else. I mean, I'm up here hearing black people say Trump was tight on the border. He was allowing kids to be left in cages and all that. I find it funny during a presidential election, whatever happens during the presidency, people tend to blame the candidate, the president on that during his presidential term, when really he can't control everything. Even with Barack Obama, certain things happen, but I never blamed Barack for it. It just happened on his dime. I mean, being a president is a hard job, people. That's not easy at all. It's not an easy job. It's not. But, in my opinion, he's one of the only presidents that at least address black people. And not in a negative light. As brutally honest as he may have been, he also exposed a lot. Donald Trump was not a part of the, as we say, the good old boy club. He's a self-made guy. It's obvious now that during his presidential election, this guy was self-made. Yeah, his father gave him some money, but he could have easily squandered it. Easily. He could have easily squandered it. But back to Miss Harris, it's a well-known fact that she was responsible for locking up unfairly a lot of blacks in California over, their kids being truant and things like that, And you got to know, all those parents probably didn't know their kid was truant. That's just one thing. I even heard one Democrat by the name of Joe Madison say, well, some of those people deserve to be locked up. Well, okay, but who are you to judge of that? So he's part of that old crew. The old crew. The crew that, hey, we're gonna vote straight down Democrat, regardless of who it is. I don't respect that, because that's been a problem for so long. That's been the problem. Just voting down Democrat for no freaking reason. I remember one year I didn't even vote, man. Matter of fact, that was the year Trump got elected. I was so fed up with politics during that time. Because at the end of the day, man, politics is about money. I don't think people get that. I don't give a fuck if the president is racist. I don't care. As long as his policies are not going against my own interest, my family's interest, I have no problem with them. That's me, though. That's how I think. Because I understand it's not necessarily always about me. It's about the future generation. It's about those behind me. Like I said before, I feel like Kamala's going to slap black folks in the face if, after December 8th, she and Mr. Biden are officially the president and VP. I really do, because, man, Barack Obama sat in that office for 8 years and didn't even give black people anything. All we gave him was our voting support. But see, I wonder if Kamala is a part of that bougie class in black America. And that's something else that was associated with fraternities and sororities was bougie or bourgeois. Same term. Because there is a black elite class. They're very tight-knit. They keep that circle very small. And they have old money. Old money. And they marry within. It's very exclusive. And you would think that black folks would know that by now. You really would, man. I remember when I learned about the black bourgeois class, the black elite class. It fucked me up, man. But it made sense, though. It made a lot of sense. So, man, it's a trip. You know, a lot of people don't even know about that. A lot of black people don't even know about that, man. The black elite class. They don't even know about that stuff, man. These people secretly control what's going on in black America, believe it or not. All those little secret black tie events, and, you know, you be thinking, who are those people there? You even have them at the job, you know? But these secret black bourgeois groups, man, it's something else. And that's what, when I see Kamala Harris, that's what I think about when I see her. It fucks me up. And don't think she's not a part of it just because she doesn't claim black and she has a white husband. That don't mean nothing. That don't mean anything. That means absolutely nothing. Because the black bourgeois class, they keep those circles tight. I know me, I smoke cigars. And I remember I got my first cigar back in 2008, right? And, you know, an officer gave it to me in the Army. We still friends to this day. And I think I've been smoking cigars since about 2008. And I remember when I started, you know, visiting cigars clubs and visiting different lounges, and then a lot of black folks start getting into it online. I saw a lot of black folks online getting into it, and it turned into a class thing. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all because some places wanted you to wear a sport coat to come in there. It was just, And of course, some of those people that were initiating that bullshit were in those fraternities and sororities. I'm not gonna wear a suit and tie to smoke a damn cigar in. That doesn't make any sense. In fact, cigars and things of that nature, when it started coming down to the lounging and things like that, that actually was a class breaker. That's why they would not have labels on some of them. So, people, it wouldn't be like, okay, this is an expensive cigar. This is not an expensive cigar. This is it broke down the classism in it. And I don't know why we do shit like that. That is some fucking slave shit. That is some slave-minded ass shit, man. And I know it seems like I'm jumping all over the board, and I hope who's ever listened to this podcast is enjoying what I'm saying. I'm just kind of, shooting from the dome and shooting off knowledge that I've gained and known for over the years, but it just seems like, man, we seem to love classism and separating ourselves from the low class, or the, kind of like separating the wheat from the chaff, as they say in the Bible. And what really saddens me, man, is that I feel like we as a people, we haven't gone anywhere as a collective. And I understand that we're not a monolithic people. I get that. I always tell people, don't try to connect, don't be trying to create black networks, because it ain't gonna work. I believe you should get with like-minded people, even if it's of your own color, own race, and do it like that. Because not all black folks gonna be on board. You got some people in them fraternities and sororities that's broke as fuck. They would give their last dime to their sorority and fraternity. That is their God. And it seems like with Miss Harris, it seems like she only leans toward the black sorority and black woman corner when it conveniences her. I always tell people, you want to know when a politician's lying? When they open their mouth. Black folks, we got to wake up, man. We got to stop just supporting people because they look like us. Because it seems like to me, black people only forgive other non-black people. We are hard on each other, man. We are really hard on each other. And I don't get it, man. I mean, I do get it, but I don't like that. I don't like that. It shouldn't be that a black man give another black man a chance only because they're in the same fraternity or sorority or a part of the Divine Nine. It's hard enough for us, man. But I'm not going to say that I just dislike Kamala Harris as a person. But I will say as a political leader, I disagree with a lot of her policies and things that she's done in the past. I only have her past to judge her off of. And I get, yes, some of those people probably did deserve to be locked up. But at the number that you were doing it, Kamala, come on now. And then when Joe Biden said, you're not black if you don't vote for me, man, that was an insult. And we got to stop getting treated. We got to stop being okay with being treated like a side piece, black folks. I remember when Barack Obama was in office, there was an older gentleman that I knew. We worked together. We worked for the newspaper company. I had 2 jobs at the time. And, man, this brother loved the shit out of Barack Obama. And every time I asked him, what has he done for black people, he never could give me an answer. He never gave me an answer. And I said, besides him being quote unquote black, what has he done for you that has made your life better? What policy has he set in place? I mean, Trump has set policies in place for veterans. I'm a veteran. I'm under that umbrella. That's just one talking point. And I'm not blaming Barack Obama for this, but during Barack Obama's presidency, man, financially, it sucked for me, man. It really did. I'm not gonna lie. Eventually it did get better, but I was so unemployed so many times during his presidency, it didn't make any sense. I just never stayed unemployed for long. You know, I know how to go out here and get it, man, straight up. Because I believe, in my opinion, no president can create jobs, but their policies as far as payroll tax and things like that can affect employers wanting to hire people. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. People actually believe that Joe Biden is going to make the minimum wage $15 an hour. If I own a business, I don't need the government telling me how much I got to pay people, because I may not be able to afford to do that. I may not be able to afford to do that, people. I do understand that the government sometimes has to get involved. I get that. You do need some government mandating and government to balance things. But America is made up of small businesses, not big companies like that. And the only reason why the big companies win because they have more money. That's the only reason why corporate America wins. I thought people knew that. But all I can do, man, is continue to do what I do, stack my bread, invest in myself. And I'm going to tell you, people, the best investment is yourself. I heard a young brother say, before you go out, start investing financially in stocks and bonds, invest in yourself with certifications, education, so you can go out here and make more money. And that made so much sense to me. It made so much sense. I couldn't agree anymore with that. I gotta agree with that. I gotta agree with that. That makes so much sense to me. But many people are still hopeful that Mr. Trump can win the presidential election. I hope he does, man. I really do, because I've never experienced this kind of shit before in my life. This will go down in the history books, mark my word. This will go down in the history books. Because this is crazy. I mean, people actually believe that Biden is going to unite the country. No president can do that. Can't no president unite no damn country. Because we all have different agendas. That's why. We all have different agendas, man. There's no way in the hell a president could do that. It's not his job to unite the country. His job is to oversee, and in my opinion, this is my opinion, his job is to oversee and to make sure the country is continually thriving as a whole. Because realistically, if a president has 10 policies in place that they want to do, if they can get 2 done throughout their 4-year term, I'm happy with that. I remember being in a union, and they do contracts, and it would be a back and forth between the company and the union. And the union would have 10 agendas they want, and the company would come back and say, well, we could do 2 of these. And I was cool with that. But during the presidency, man, they got to go through the House, the Senate. Man, it's a lot. Like I said, I'm not here to give a civics class, but I'm just telling you, man, you ain't gonna win them all. Like I said, I hope Trump wins, because I believe he's best for the country right now. He's balancing it out, if you ask me. He's balancing everything. He's balancing and making things fair on all playing fields. And I respect that. I respect that. You know? And a lot of black men have woken up. A lot of black men are voting more on the conservative side. Because as a man, you have a lot of things in this world to lose. And depending on who's in office, that can affect you. And I really feel like Donald Trump is for men's rights. We have enough rights out here for women. We have a lot of shit going for women, man. I mean, it's insane. Where does a man fit in that, man? For real. Where does a man fit in at? But anyway, people, I'm going to end this podcast. I've been on long enough. I think you guys get my point of view. If you'd like to be a guest on my show, hit me up at info@cigarswithmacpod.com. Also, do not forget to download, like, share, and follow my podcast. You dig. And until next time, I'm out.
Your morning commute typically takes 25 minutes. If a 400 cubic foot dairy truck spills 2% milk on the freeway, causing you to take a detour and get stuck at a drawbridge for 20 minutes, how late will you be? Don't know? Well, good news, you don't have to, because Waze knows. With real-time traffic alerts from real Waze users, your ETA is always up to date. Waze. Download and drive today.
Jersey City Medical Center is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with the county's only cardiac surgery program, performing the most orthopedic procedures, all private rooms in our Lord Abbott Maternity Wing, and the only NCI-designated comprehensive cancer center in the state in partnership with Rutgers Cancer Institute of New Jersey. Visit rwjbh.org/Hudson County. Jersey City Medical Center and RWJ Barnabas Health Facility.